evening and welcome. It is, once again, the Black Table for a Feel Good Friday here. Welcome. Well, we had an early start today, and we're not apologizing. We're only simply welcoming you in. Once again, we get to talk, as men do, when we're having a good time out drinking with our fellows. You're welcome too. You can use the hashtag #TheBlackTable on TVC. Let me introduce the guests. You all know them already, except for one. I will start, however, from my left. You all know him. Here's your rich uncle. He's here again. Unbiased, he tells it like he wants to. Mr. Okwe Oluwafemi is in the house. Welcome, man.
Rich. Yes, boss.
Yes, indeed.
It's the other way around. It's the other way around.
Well, Nollywood sensation, you guys all know him. Mr. Christian Ochaga is in the house. He stands at 6'4", 2.
You're correct, 6'4".
Yeah, there we go. And of
Are you
course,
serious?
yeah,
It's the accuracy
for
for
the
me.
first time we have someone who's taller than me in the building. You are welcome, man.
Respect.
Thank you very much.
I see you guys.
Well, I can't say the same thing for the guy who's behind the bar because he stands at a mere 2'5".
First
Well,
shot. First
I'm
shot.
telling you, it's three bullets.
If you're going to accommodate his mid-region, I guess he's got something to stand for.
Second.
Gino is just jealous.
The mayor of Adungi is in the house, Mr. Gang GNG.
Gino is jealous that he has
I
someone taller than
introduced
him.
him last, but yeah, I don't know,
He's
man.
taller than you, finer than you, everything more than you.
Hey, Gang. Gang, this is not a war.
Now you know how I feel when I'm close to you.
In any case,
2-0
you guys
still.
are our fifth hosts, so we'll be expecting your messages, especially at the end of the show, where we expect you guys to give us your opinion about the topics that we discuss here. Welcome once again. It is the Black Table. Let's take a very short break. We'll be back.
You always take the bill on the first date, second date, and third date. Bro code. As a guy, when it comes to every decision you're taking, ask yourself, who am I and how is this going to impact on my person? Bro code.
Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for staying up, at least, and maybe not going any place, but choosing to come here with us. It's the Black Table. Mazzino Appeal is the name, and of course, hey, pure, unbiased, unrestricted conversation is the game. Let's start with our quickfire number one for today. We have this story here, which everybody who's a football fan has been talking about all week. Benjamin Mendy has finally been found not guilty of rape. Apparently, he's got two ladies who came up against him about a rape charge. And we all know his philandering ways from way before. But then again, someone said, hey, this guy raped me. But not guilty. What's going on here? You have the full story. You know about this guy. You've been talking about him for a minute now, haven't
despite
you?
the fact that a City fan and a Man City player, and
Arsenal still has fans.
yes, it's still have fans.
Okay,
So
go
it's
ahead.
crazy what has happened to Mendy because over 2 years, about 2.5 years from now, he's watched his club do the treble they just did last season, win the season before, and not be a part of that campaign in terms of his job as a footballer. But, you know, to be accused of as many as 10 counts, some of them are rape allegations, attempted rape allegations, and to be finally found guilty is a great thing for him. It's good news for him. But to go through all of this in the... Not guilty.
No. Guilty.
He was found not guilty.
Not guilty.
You understand? And he kept on saying he wasn't guilty
Yeah.
from the get-go. So his accusers now. The question is, you know, a lot of situations when it comes to rape allegations, it's always women accusing men.
Or say any other
So
way
when
around.
the men are found not guilty, what happens to the accusers?
Actually,
That's something to look at. You get me? So it's not easy for anything to happen to these women, but they've basically destroyed the life of a young man with so many great prospects.
Yeah, it's
You get
wrong.
me? So it's good news for him, but it's sad news at the same time. Because
Exactly.
now he's trying to rebuild his career, start back his whole footballing campaign. I don't know whether he'll still continue with Manchester City, but he's been signed as a Manchester City player. And he was a very, very great player for the team and for his country as well. So it's very sad and shocking that it has come to this point whereby sometimes, because of how men have lived their lives, based on your lifestyle,
but
sometimes it's easy to accuse you of something.
But that's wrong now.
But here's the thing, yeah, even here locally, and this has happened to people, somebody who's personally my friend, once a woman comes up and says, oh, that guy accuses you of anything, it's like the world against the man. How fair is that is the question, is what I'm asking.
Completely unfair.
I mean-
Completely. Like, look at this guy now. He will never get back to how he used to be. We all know that. So, and then they get to go scot-free. No, I don't think that's fair.
No, I'd like to
That's
chip
not fair.
into that
Yeah, please
because you know the thing it's not just being not guilty or being found not guilty, but now there's that dent to his name. We had a similar issue with Greenwood,
Yes.
right? And I heard, I don't know if that's true, that the lady in question, she's currently pregnant for him. Yes, during the course of all this allegation,
No,
yes,
stop,
that she was
stop,
visiting
stop,
him,
stop,
and they
stop,
had,
They were still
yes, they were still having
coitus
something together. So that's quite
Wait,
a lot.
The lady that accused him
Yes,
of rape,
she's currently pregnant
she's
for
now
Greenwood.
pregnant for him.
Greenwood, yes. And that's
Tuesday
a
on
lot.
court.
And it puts these guys in such precarious situation that they had to just start all over again. And you see brands, you know, if they have this collaboration or partnership with
brands
selling
just
brands,
don't They
lose
brands
so
just
much.
shift
Yeah.
away because of the stigma, because of the name, because of the tag that's been attached, the word rape and all this stuff and whatnot. Well, it's not really fair, and I'll go with what Femi said. It's
fair.
not just fair,
Yes.
and something should be done
Something has to be
about
done.
it. To the accusers, if these guys are not found
Guilty.
guilty,
Yes.
then there should be a punishment
There
for the
should be.
opposite gender. Understand? To balance the situation, you don't just wake up from nowhere and just accuse the man of rape. We get it; it's attached to
How
our
do you save the
lifestyle.
situation? For instance, God forbid, Christian or Femi, somebody comes up and says, "Oh, that guy, he did that to me," and so and so. So, how would you attend to that kind of a situation? And you're not guilty. How do you attend to that kind of a situation? What is there
Do
a
you know,
template
so
for
funny
any
enough,
man?
funny enough,
What do you
so
do?
funny enough, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I think about that, like, do you know that you could be building your life like this? Eh? One random girl will just come and knock everything off course. Because guess what? If a lady accuses you of rape, your wife will be on your side. But first things first, she's like, okay, so tell me the truth. Level with me. Did you do it? Because it's so heavy that nobody believes you. Like, nobody believes you. Like, it's you against the world. Even if you manage to turn the tides, even if you're always going to be that guy that was accused of rape.
Rape, yes.
It's sad. Like
Sad.
based
Sad.
on what Femi is saying,
Sad.
it's very clear that when it comes to rape accusations, men are guilty till found guilty.
Guilty.
Even
exactly.
found guilty.
Yes,
when-
I like that.
Even when, even
And
when
that's
you're
true.
not, even when you're not guilty, you still have that stigma for the rest
That
of your
still
life.
follows you. That you're,
Wrong.
you know, that accusation.
Very wrong.
And I think a lot of women know that, so they use that against men to get back at them or to punish them for one reason or the other. But it's very sad that nothing is ever done
Nothing is
in
ever
that
done.
kind of
Here's a
situation.
Nigerian instance. Some lady came up to accuse somebody who was very big, great voice in the entertainment industry, and I use that intentionally, great voice in the entertainment industry. It was only recently. You might know who I'm talking
I
about.
do.
Now, this case happened. He lost all his endorsements, lost the ability to be that great voice that he was noted to be. The matters died down. Other details have come up about the story, to the fact that they were actually in a relationship, a proper relationship, before she brought up this accusation. So there are very many stories, but nobody's gone back to the instance to say, "Oh, but you accused him of so and so,"
And nobody will.
and nobody ever does.
And they move
Once
on.
they Google your name,
And it's a
that
Nigerian
story
Yeah,
pops up.
that's true. That's that dent, the
He's
dent
never
to the name
recovered
already.
from it, to say
And
the
it's
least.
very hard to
Never
recover
recover
from
from
such situation, actually. Do you understand? So the most important thing, the dent is there, and trust me, people get Nigerians. Let me bring it back home. So Nigerians, we have this mindset to the fact that once there is a rumor out there or an allegation is out there, they tend to judge you by it, and we have that ideology that there is always a truth to that rumor or to the allegation, and they tend to live with it, whether you're innocent or not. They just go with their own mindset, with their own perception of the entire story, of the entire narrative, which doesn't really make any sense.
Guilty
I beg
until
you.
proven
God,
guilty.
I
I
couldn't
beg.
agree with you more, especially when you said whether you're innocent or Idibia. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Gang.
So, stray bullet on newspaper. Chihuahua, no, no, no.
He knows I'm a fan. He knows I should be.
Okay.
Tell you guys what we're going to do. Let's move on to our next quick fire topic now. A very interesting one here. You guys are going to love this story. My friend just called me that she's pregnant. Meanwhile, her boyfriend of 4 years has been sponsoring her through school from his small footwear business. A very modest guy. Christian, get this. Now, she's pregnant for her coursemates. Nigerian instance this is, by the way. And then they say that we're cheaters, and I'm talking about
Can
men
I go-
now.
can I go
that
first?
men have come. Please, rich uncle.
You have no business sponsoring anybody through school, anybody that you're not married to. There are limits to boyfriend and girlfriend.
Exactly.
Like, why are you sponsoring her through school?
It's an expression of love.
No, it's not.
Under fire, your expressions.
Bro, no, it's not. So let's be clear. There are some things that there are wife privileges, there are girlfriend privileges. There are
Education is not one of them.
Education should never be.
Unless it's your sister, a family member. What are you saying?
Why are you sending that? Why are you paying her way through school? Come on.
And you're expecting. See, do you know what it means? Somebody's in a Nigerian university with Nigerian boys
all know what we
like
did in
Christian.
school now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
What do you know?
We all
And
know
then
what
all
we
of
did
a
in
sudden,
school. That one guy called they do come like all the bro.
see,
Yes, I agree with Femi because the bottom line here is there should be boundaries.
It should be.
Know your boundary.
It should be.
Stick
If you're
to
gonna go
it.
that far,
Yes.
marry
stick
her
to it.
first.
And while she's going
secure
to
your
school.
investment.
Yeah.
Because it's actually an investment.
yeah.
Are you paying school fees and then one other guy to give him back shots? What?
Do you understand?
What? You did not shoot for
Another person they wear the shoe.
You did not
I should
shoot
have thought of
for
that
office,
first.
but I got it.
I should
You have the person
No.
you have the person they cultivate, another person they
You
harvest.
understand, bro? You will until the ground. Actually,
But it's a Nigerian thing for people, even if you're in a relationship as a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship you want to provide. Some people
you have
even go as
to
far as,
spend
I mean, you've bought
spend
iPhones
money
for,
on spend money
you
on your
probably
woman.
bought iPhone for a girlfriend before, I'm asking. I'm not sure, I'm just saying.
Nah.
You know-
no, but guess what? Spend money on your woman. I always believe that your woman is a representation of you.
Yes.
So you can't be this fly guy. Your girl is like down there. You know much. She's a representation of you. So if I see your girlfriend, I have an idea of what kind of man you are. But you get limit. You can't be driving, say, under 1995 and your baby driving a Benz 2022. Are you okay?
But that's Nigerian.
So I have a
No,
problem.
that's not even that.
I have a problem with that mindset that, okay, my wife must drive a bigger car. What's
Okay,
wrong with you?
let's go to representatives for Igbo people now.
I was even going there.
That is your culture.
No, but that mindset don't change though. Bro,
Regarding the car instance.
No. Of course, I'm in support of what he said to
But
some
however,
extent.
you would
Yes,
rather if a
because
woman-
we as I'm an Igbo man, and the Igbo men would take pride
Exactly.
in seeing our lady look lavishingly good because they're a representation of our wealth. They represent our pocket. You understand? And when you see an Igbo man and you see the wife, you hear something like, Unyo Chiwo, Unye Chief, the wife of Chief. So it means that probably the man is taking care of the lady very well. So the wife should be a representation of the wealthy man. So that should be your investment. And I'm sorry to say that if a wealthy guy or you don't take care of your woman, then there's a question mark somewhere. And it means that she's actually not yours. You have an alternative somewhere where you spend.
Okay,
So it
that's
is what
very
it is.
interesting. Gang, I want you to take a lesson from him. You see how he just used some Igbo anecdotes. Hausa man here doesn't even give
I'm
us
not
any...
a Hausa.
They always put it down.
See, first of all,
those
you
people,
don't even want to.
they don't play.
What do people do in
You don't
the-
even want to
in
come
the
close to
north?
that because
No, those
Hausa
people don't
people
play.
are
They
the
don't play.
closest to Arab money.
They
So
don't.
you don't even want-
They
you don't even want to go there.
Bro, they don't play.
You don't even want to go there.
But what is it like in your culture?
My culture is kind of different. I don't want to disgrace myself and say I don't know my culture that well, but my culture is kind of different because my culture has a lot of hardworking women. Our women actually want to work hard for themselves and for the family.
Okay.
You get me? And they don't want to rely on men per se. But I like the point that he made there. Sometimes your woman should be a representative.
She's always,
of
not
who you
sometimes.
are.
Always,
You get me?
always,
But then the
always.
problem is this: you shouldn't belittle yourself.
Don't lose yourself.
Don't
Never
lose yourself into trying to elevate
Elevate
Yes.
yourself.
your wife.
because
You
of
should
that.
always be the man of
What's
the
the
house.
fear? What are you scared of in elevating a woman more than you?
Why? So the question, the first question, why? Why do I have to elevate my woman more than me? Why can't we both shine?
Aha, now
Exactly.
we're going head
No,
to head.
so,
now.
so,
We're going head to
so,
head
so
now.
some-
Ding, ding.
sometimes respect.
We can both
Respect,
shine.
Yes,
respect
respect.
is the number
If
one
you
thing.
elevate your woman, you're saying
Sometimes
she won't respect you. Is that what you're saying?
Some. I would like to say this. You know, there are different stages to ladies. Stage 1 before marriage, stage 2 during marriage, and stage 3 maybe after 10 years, 15 years after marriage. They have different stages of their characters that they would show.
Yeah.
Now, the ones that probably you might get married to them not wealthy and you polish them up, you don't know what you can expect from them. Yes, sometimes you see when they say money change people.
Money does.
So
It
especially
changes
the ladies,
everybody,
and
actually.
trust the ladies to be in competition with their fellow ladies. You understand? And sometimes they tend to lose that respect. They might want to go ahead of the man.
Because
If you empower them that much, then they might lose the respect they have for you
It's
as a
like
man.
you over-empower them.
And they
At the
might
same
want
time,
to now sit on you as a
much
man.
as you might put them on a,
and
on a, on a
dominate you.
material basis, whereby you're elevating them, you still need to put it down as well as a man. In terms of in the bedroom, you're holding it down. You're available for them to let them know that you're
Availability.
there.
Yeah.
You're in
If you're
charge.
not satisfying your woman, for example, sexually, and you're giving her all material things, she starts to lack certain things and starts to lose a level of respect.
She will look for it elsewhere.
for you, yeah.
And starts looking for it elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
But personally, I always believe that I don't like that mindset of, okay, this one has to be on top. We can both shine.
Exactly.
We can
Thank
both
you. That's my
shine.
Yes.
point, yeah.
You can be shining and I can be shining. Your light doesn't diminish my light.
But that's something Nigerians should unlearn
No,
and
but-
relearn.
Yes,
Femi,
we can
as
both
much
shine.
as you
Because
could
it's a
both
mindset
shine,
stuff.
Do you understand? The question also, when it comes to the fact that this is my partner, is she satisfied in certain areas?
You can never complete. You will die trying
Okay,
to
wait,
satisfy
Femi,
a
so where's that
woman.
middle ground now?
The middle ground.
Wait, let me ask
Exists.
you, first of all, let me make it practical. What do you drive?
Mercedes.
E350.
He drives a Mercedes, guys. What's your wife drive?
E350.
Which one's bigger?
Mine.
With pride, he
No, but guess what?
Mine.
But guess what? No, but guess what? But when I bought her the E-class, I was driving a C-class though.
Oh, gee.
But I knew
They were
that
going for something
I
else.
was going for something else and it was not going to be that. Because I've seen men, in all honesty, and I'm saying this from experience, I've seen men that lived for their families and they died miserable. I don't want to be that guy. My family can be okay. See, if we have 100K, there's no reason why I'm giving out 70K and I'm holding 30K. No, take 40K. The children take 10K. Me too. This 50K will do. I mean, let me win the
You're the
bread
man.
now. Let me win the bread.
Yeah.
Let me say, make I flex. I don't. There was this guy, not this guy, my uncle. The most dedicated human being ever. Like,
Another rich uncle.
no, the real rich, the real rich
the
uncle.
inspiration.
The guy had
behind
like
rich uncle.
5 wives, right? And that guy lived for those women. Like, he did. You know when they say the only thing he didn't give was his blood. And when he died, till this day, I look at those and I'm like, you people are ungrateful. Because they all say these things, like the guy set them up for. So at some point during his lifetime, finances started to dwindle. And then we just started to see the women their real color. And I was like, this guy, like, I was a kid, but you could see, you could see, these women were driving brand new cars. The guy laced them up, but as the cars go like this, they just.
But you know, sadly, most men live for women and they forget to live for themselves.
So that's why I learned that Mr.
Because
Oluwafemi.
if you look
Enjoy your life.
if you
Enjoy your
look
life.
at, if you
Enjoy
look
your
at it,
life.
over 70% of the men, you see them working so hard. To what end? To spend on a woman. And we forget, yes. And we forget to live for ourselves.
Take care of you. Always take care
Nice.
of you, man. Always.
Listen, your
Always.
opinion is very relevant too. That's why we're asking you guys to actually send in your comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on. Sorry, the other show, this show. The black hashtag the Black Table on
Too much
TVC.
money. Too much
Join
money.
me in the morning shows for Wake Up Nigeria.
Wait, you
Right
show
now-
the money show too.
Oh, but of course.
When
Don't
you
worry, it's
sleep.
not
For
Saturday
the love
morning.
of this show is why I'm still here at this time. It's
Okay.
all good. We got a next quick fire topic here. This one's very interesting. You're gonna love this. Biz Leo Sikoya on Instagram says here, single Nigerian men are not. This is funny. Single Nigerian men are not allowed in Maldives anymore. By the way, they claim Nigerian men are impregnating their women. Now, wow, Kenya police arresting Nigerian men for nothing. Their wives claim it's because they are married to Kenyan women and they spoil them. Nigerian men, stop using your to block other people's visas. Are we that good? You've been around. Are you that good?
But you know, it's not.
Do tell.
Not you
Standing
bringing
at
it. Not you
6'4"
bringing it directly to
and
me.
a
sir.
blue collar.
Defend yourself. Your integrity is at stake. Your rep is at
You-
stake. Defend yourself.
So,
The first
Defend
question,
yourself.
the first question, Christian,
yes.
have you been to the Maldives?
No, I haven't been to the Maldives
Not yet.
before. Not yet.
Officially.
No,
You have
officially I
plans?
haven't.
No, because there are places that you've been to
Yes,
on
of
your
course I
passport, but
have.
you officially you never read there.
I never read there.
You never read there, or you never read there. Which one?
I don't know,
There are
but
two-
we'll talk about that
No,
later.
no, exactly,
But
exactly.
you've been around.
Yeah, sure.
You've
sure.
seen how Nigerian men interact with women of other races. Is it true what they say here about us being as proficient as these women think we are? I don't have this opportunity. I'm not as traveled as you or rich uncle here. So do educate me.
Not you
And
defending,
Gang, who's
not you
been
defending
anyplace at
yourself
all.
and taking yourself out of this
He does,
equation.
no, but this,
And I Gang are
this
saying
is his
that-
forte. That you set fire to the village and don't press the jet. They watch from about hey,
That's an
hi,
intelligent
guys.
move, actually. But the fact here is that we're Nigerians.
What is it about being Nigerian? I'm talking
stand
about
out,
from
Dabi.
what
Yeah?
women
We
see.
stand out.
Yes, we are who we say we are.
No, but you guys are arrogant.
Yes.
You're arrogant, you're loud, you're Nigerians.
So you know, then once
Rega-
Guinness Book
regardless
of Records.
tri-
Once
regardless of-
Guinness Book of
Regardless
Records.
of tribe, you guys are loud, you're arrogant, and you think everybody else works for you. Everybody, and when I say everybody, I mean everybody.
Actually, Nigerians, we tend to always want to have things our own way.
And you most times do.
And we must always have it our own ways. You understand? Which sometimes it shouldn't be so.
So, South Africa is one place that we've had this kind of an issue, plenty. I mean, if you've been to South Africa, you'd find that many South African ladies, and I say this boldly, actually love Nigerian men. They love
Africa,
your
the
accents.
entire
They love the
Af-
fact that you're just
entire
Nigerian.
Africa.
So I
They
remember
love
being in a
Nigerian men.
restaurant one time in South Africa, and I could hear these chaps chatting away behind me, and they were the loudest in the restaurant. Of course, by their accent, I could tell that they were Nigerian. But I also found out that they had all the attention in the restaurant. All the staff and everybody wanted to service them. These were very beautiful, voluptuous ladies, and they were focused on these guys. I'm like, why is it that Nigerians always stand out from a crowd? And why is it that we attract that female female attention?
One, Nigerian men, let me just say it. We're hardworking, one. We are good looking, two. And Nigerian men are good in the other room.
Anatomically.
So,
in the
when you
supermarket,
look at all of this, you cannot just ignore a Nigerian man.
Yeah, especially when you're
I was- I was in the-
6'4"
I
with a
was in the
white
supermarket
chest.
in
And the
Rwanda.
6'3" seated by my side.
Oh, please.
I was in the supermarket in Rwanda with a friend of mine, and we're having a conversation. And the lady behind me said, "You guys are Nigerians," and I'm like, "How do you know this?" You're like, "You people enter the room before you enter the room."
Oh,
like,
true. That's gang.
but
So
not that kind of
that's
rule.
gang. I
Not that kind of
apologize.
rule.
Gang's stomach enters before he does.
That's five. That's
Bro.
five. No, that's five.
Bro, 3-0.
No, Femi, you lost
I
count.
apologize.
Lost
That's
count.
gang.
Five.
Who is counting?
Five. I've
See,
been counting.
because Zeno doesn't have any organs that protrude.
Ouch!
Does not mean
Ouch. Okay, now that's hat trick. That's hat trick.
So we're
That's
like
fine.
2-0
5-3.
right now. We're like 2-0. Because that's shots, are like 3 shots.
About your Ugandan experience, please proceed.
Bro, no, but they love Nigerian men. You guys are, so if you see other Africans, you realize that, we have a problem. We are every
Is
Nigerian.
it necessarily a problem? I mean, we've used.
We're proud.
What is this
We
pride
are.
thing?
We think
have?
everybody else is beneath us.
every
Other
African.
African. No, every other human being. Like we are subconsciously, it's ingrained in every
And this
Nigerian.
is
It might
a
not be
good
loud.
thing.
It is, I think it's a good
I
thing.
feel-
It's a good,
I
I
feel
wouldn't even
it's a
say
good
that
thing.
it's like we think we're better than people. We
Yes.
just choose to be a certain type of way that stands out, while other people are a little bit timid. Or you understand? They're timid or
why they are still holding back, you are right
Yeah,
there in
yes.
front.
Exactly.
We know how
Them.
we know how to dominate every environment,
space,
every
that's
place we
what,
step into.
every
We know
space.
we
how
just
to
do our
dominate.
thing, while other people
Yes.
are shying to even
So
step
this is on
up.
a social level. Now, when it comes to the D energy,
Yeah.
however, when it regards women, how does that play?
One guy told me something once about 15 years ago. He said, if you ever travel out of this country, because at that time I'm not going anywhere, and you are going to sleep with a woman from another country, just remember that you are carrying the weight of the country on your
So you have
shoulder.
something to prove.
You must represent.
Exactly.
So and then I was like, what kind of rubbish talk? But now I understand what the guy means. That,
Through
okay.
experience
No,
over the
no,
past
no,
15
no,
years.
no, no. But now I'm like, oh, this is what this guy was talking about. That, bro, you have to leave a lasting impression because the people that went before you, they did.
Now you understand. Maybe
No, because a lot of things that I've seen of late, and a lot of things I've heard from this guy behind the scenes, I'm like, okay, maybe that like
Guys,
this
you've
in the
left
world.
some dents across the world.
Listen, I always tell people I was of the world before. But now that I've cleansed myself and I'm a new man, and I choose not to live the way some of you people might be living. Even though your name is Christian, I see Christian.
There's nothing Christian about him.
There's something Christian about him.
Nothing
We need to understand
The name
what
said a
Christian is all
fallacy.
about. Is he leading people to the right path, or is he?
No, there's nothing
right
Christian
path,
about
of
him,
course,
man.
the right
You
path.
know,
No, but when I look at Christian, I'm like, if I had his features, the height, the chest,
committed
everything,
more atrocities.
it would have been a problem.
Oh, Jesus.
They would have called me atheist. This guy, I would have had no belief.
So how do you manage carrying this you around? How do you manage? I mean, because if we're talking about, that energy, that would be you. Not only that, you're also an actor. So how do you manage
The
everything?
last time I checked, we have 4 of us here, though. It shouldn't
No,
be
but just
about me.
answer the
See,
question. Don't
the-
deflect. Just answer the question.
How
Don't
do you-
deflect.
And I mean
but-
outside the country and how.
Yeah, so normal. It's a normal thing, actually. So.
So him is
You've done it so much, it's normal.
No. Excuse me.
Let me rephrase.
Give him
How
a
do you
break,
keep
give him a
yourself
break, give him a
out of having a Mendy situation? False
So,
accusations and
I
whatnot.
would say it's
You have a
it's
non-disclosure.
discipline.
Discipline.
Yes, it's discipline to know how to shut the door, when to shut the door.
Do you always shut the door?
I do.
Rich uncle.
Oh,
I do. I try.
Or your lawyer just draft
I
one
try.
correct
See,
non-disclosure.
it's
that
not
they
it's
must
not
sign.
easy. It's not easy. Of course, we are
Yeah.
men. We have blood.
Okay.
We have blood flowing. So we get this temptation. We get this. You understand?
But you
People
shut
want
the
this
door.
attention and
You
all. We
always
just
shut the door.
try. If we have one as a single man, sometimes
Sometimes the flesh is willing.
you understand. So we just have
It's
to
okay. No,
do. A
it's
man will
okay.
have to do what a man have to
Have
do.
to do, yeah,
You
I
understand?
like
But
that.
everybody be all right. There's no point in me coming here to claim a sense. So all the sense them, I don't know where they did. But moving on.
Yeah, like, onto other things.
You understand? So it is what it is. You just have to learn how to shut the door in terms of Mendy's situation. So it's a thing
But
of
on a more serious
discipline.
note, I really want to know, how do you fight? How do you, because I know that, you're in that industry, how do you fight female attention? Because I know they will be throwing it like this.
And sometimes, see the way
Your
I do,
DM
see,
go
see the way,
full.
see the way I do mine. I look at the damage aspect of it. So if I think of it, if I come from the damaging aspect of it, and see, okay, that this place might take me somewhere drastic that it might prove costly, I'll shut the door. I mustn't.
Well, it takes discipline. to
Yes, it
actually
takes
be able
discipline.
to
That's
do
why I
it.
use the word discipline. You have to have the sense of discipline, this self-sense of control. To say, okay, no, I mustn't sleep with every this and that. I mustn't
some
open
of
the door
them, sir.
to this
But-
and that. No, don't come. It's normal. It's normal. It comes with.
I mean, you can't block all bullets.
yes, no,
anyway.
we have to
Straight
try.
bullet
We
go touch.
have to try. We try. I try.
Straight
I
bullet go
try.
touch. No,
It
no,
will
no,
come,
no.
it will
Nobody
come.
hold you for straight
But
bullet.
you have to.
Yes.
Because on the other side, let me use the industry as an example, within ourselves in the industry. Because if you don't have the sense of discipline, you tend to lose your respect.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Long run, you lose your value.
I hear there's a lot of
Yes.
cross-pollination going on.
Yes, you
inside
lose,
of the
you lose,
industry
you
as
lose
well.
your respect.
Those
Your
are never
respect,
married.
you lose
Those
your
are
value.
never married.
And
I
I'll
think
give you
they
an
don't live
example of losing your respect and losing your value. Let me say you are a female colleague and a producer, and you have your way with me. Tomorrow, Femi is trying to produce a particular project, and you are in that room, and Femi brings my name up. You might not approve of me because you had your way with me. So in your own head, I let my guard down. And you would block it and say, no, go for this person who has this sense of discipline and orientation and control, because you tend to value that person more. So sometimes it's all about the bigger goal,
Christian,
the bigger picture.
As a Christian,
Yes.
are you telling me that at every point you've been able to dodge all bullets?
I have.
You don't have to answer.
With my full
No,
chest.
you don't have to answer.
I'm saying it on live television. With my full chest. I have.
Your
And his
DM,
chest
your,
is
D,
big,
your
so-
DM will testify.
Tonight. This is going to be cut and put on YouTube, and the internet never forgets.
Exactly.
Trust me. I have for now.
He's the
I
bro
have.
wicked, though. 10 years from now, they can pull this thing, oh.
I like
So
this guy.
from when I started to this date, I have.
Okay, anything
so
happened
anything
before
after
then?
this date, oh,
Okay,
moving
I
on.
like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Tell you guys what. I hope you guys are setting your thumbs on fire already and sending in those messages. You want to use the hashtag #TheBlackTable on TVC because we're expecting your comments in. We're going to take our next story, which will be our main topic for today in just about a bit. But just before then, you want to send in all the messages that you can about the topics that we have already discussed here. Let's take that short, very quick break. And when we get back, we get straight into our main topic, which I know, you're going to find very juicy. Well, alrighty then. You're welcome back. We've got our main topic here, and it's a story that I must read out to you guys. You guys, please pay attention, because it's a long story. It's very interesting. Are you ready, Christian?
Okay.
Now check this out. Woman says, I really thought everything was great between myself and my husband. We love each other so much, or should I say that we loved each other more than anything else in the world. We have 2 beautiful children, a big home, and great jobs. We have great sex, and we have a lot in common. Last week, however, he told me that he wanted to ask a question, and I mustn't take it the wrong way. He wanted us to open our marriage, an open relationship, an open marriage. I started crying. Did he not love me anymore? Is he not attracted to me? Is he cheating? Why not divorce me then? His answer was, no. It's not about love or happiness, because he has both of them for me. Just something new and exciting he wanted in the relationship. I was distraught, she says, the whole day, and later that evening I downloaded Tinder. Dun, dun, dun. I uploaded one of my least flattering pictures. I wrote that I'm a mother of 2 and that I was in an open marriage. I showed my husband's profile. I showed my husband my profile 1 hour after I opened it, and that I had 100 matches. Okay. Next day, it was around 2,000 matches. My husband got very angry, very upset, and demanded that I delete the app. He said he's got the point. I get the point. I get it, and that I should forget about it. No more open relationship. Now, here's the thing. She says he's back to normal. However, I can't forget at all. Now, we had this conversation from earlier. If a woman, your woman, comes to you and says, I want an open relationship, how different is it from when you, the man, goes to her and says, I want an open relationship? Let's also admit the fact that it happens here in Nigeria, that people actually do have open marriages, even if they don't define it. If they do, everything concern me. Both of us shall they do. That's an open relationship. But what's the difference when she asks from when he asks?
I don't think there's any difference, though.
Exactly.
And I think men, like you said behind the scene, men, was it you that said that men, we can't really take what we give out? Like,
Exactly.
well, if a woman comes to me and says, she wants an open relationship, but my relationship don't finish.
Yes.
If a woman says that.
It don't finish.
Ends there.
Because I'm never going to go to her and tell her that I want an open relationship. So if a woman ever comes to you to say that, she has mentally checked out of that relationship.
She's
She's
not
just
there.
doing you the honors, like, okay, make it not be say you go here outside. Or,
Because with history remain.
It is what it is. And I think that monogamy is a problem. I've always said this. I think monogamy is a problem.
You're married to one woman, yes, just for clarification's sake.
But I also don't think that I would be comfortable if a woman whom I'm emotionally attached or emotionally involved with comes to tell me, you know what, let's open this thing. I want peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. Because in the real sense of the word, this is the way my brain works. If you are telling me this now, you've thought about it. You've run circles round this thing. You've come to a logical conclusion. You're only informing me. The deed has been done. Yeah. So there's probably something that might come to light in like a couple of days, and you're like, okay, make it not be say the year for social media or not. Like,
you feel the same way?
So for me, yes, I agree with Femi. So the truth here is that for the man to have thought of that, he's already practicing it. But I think he needed the free access to it.
Let's be honest.
He needed to call it a thing.
A thing.
So that he can continue in his should I use the word exploration?
You can call it.
Yes. So and for that, the wife played a quick one on him.
Oh, you call it a quick one. I call it something else.
So I know, of course, it's a quick one.
What I call it.
Then he had to take the back seat and say, no, I don't want this. But trust me, is he going to do it? Yes.
Okay. This is the way I see gang. I don't know if you're going to back me up here. Now, he's planted that in her head. She's open Tinder. She's seen the potential that she
She doesn't have potential.
Oh, but she got 2,000
so that's
matches. No.
That's the mistake people make.
Femi, let me land. She never knew that she had this power.
She doesn't,
Even after 2
she
kids.
tried.
Even after 2 kids.
I get where it's coming from.
Her least flattering picture. Now she knows the power that she has.
Yes.
She also noted that I have not forgotten this. So maybe she hasn't forgotten the pain. Wait, she hasn't forgotten the pain.
Those boys just want job, bro.
You know when Eve ate the apple and realized that, ooh, I'm capable. That's the instance there.
Okay, so
That's the rabbit
so
hole
let
that
me
I just
so
removed.
let me break it down for you. She
Gang, we're
opened-
coming to you. Just hang
I'm
in there.
waiting. I'm just
She opened
enjoying this.
Tinder. She uploaded at least flattering pictures, and she also put it there that I have 2 kids. I'm in an open marriage. In fact, I'm surprised that she didn't have more than 2,000 hits because that's free game. That's how men are looking at it.
You know how Tinder works.
No,
funny
I
enough.
don't know how Tinder works.
you sure?
I have like every knows.
But for the fact that she got 2,000 with at
In
least
24 hours.
Bro, that's
attractive
free
picture.
game. You and I, we know these things. Off camera, we'll go talk this thing. It's free game. Men want to just.
Yeah.
normal level now.
So you've told us that you have 2 kids and you're in an open relationship. So basically, what all the men are hearing is 0 commitment. Then go pour there now. Okay, sleep with 10 of them. See how many of them will stay. Women want emotional attachment.
Bear
Men
in mind,
just
it's an
want to-
open relationship.
Let's
They're not
do this again.
expecting you to
Yes,
stay.
it's open, exactly.
So, but have you ever dealt with any woman? And this one I'm speaking from experience. Girls I used to date, there were girls I used to date back in the days that they'll tell you that I'm just sleeping with you. I don't want to have anything. Not
Now,
lie.
I remember.
No lie.
I don't know if you guys will remember this story. It happened a few years ago. Steph Curry's wife, Aisha Curry, was talking about how she doesn't get male attention. Do you understand?
I don't understand.
There's something about men. You respect other people's wives,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
very
you
true.
don't approach them. Even as a
Standard, yeah.
single guy or
Single-
a married guy,
Facts.
you don't approach other people's wives.
Wives,
For
yeah.
married men, it's a different situation for single women. Men have that respect. But I'm telling you this for a fact. If you want to play this game with other women or against your wife, who can fool around more, who can shag around more, men will lose.
Yes, I agree.
Can I
Men will
have an
lose.
input here?
There's
Now?
a level of morals and principles that women hold themselves
Say this,
to.
no, please.
Now, let me explain what he
No,
means.
say
I'll
that
explain.
again.
Let
Say
me
that
help you
again.
out.
If you want to do that competition with your wife,
You're gonna lose.
with your partner, that let's see who can attract more people or shag more people, men will lose.
Do you know why,
I
Femi?
think,
No,
I don't know, so
before
I
you
think it
submit,
depends on where you are in life.
Femi,
I swear
I'll
to
let
God, I
you-
think it depends on where you are in
I'll let
life.
you contribute there, but before
If you, let's take him as an example. Sorry, we're putting
As
you on the
the
spot
single
again.
person.
But before
No,
before
let's
before,
just assume.
before you proceed, let me take from Gang's statement. So now imagine you being married to a beautiful woman, and every day of her life, trust me, she gets attention from every man out there, like 1 or 2. Oh, this woman is beautiful, but she made that decision to stay with you because she's married to you. But as a man, you know it's very difficult for the men to stay committed.
Yeah.
it's not
The
very
problem
difficult.
we have in most marriages these days actually is commitment and faithfulness. Yes. So, you know, it's easier for the ladies to want to stay and be committed and be disciplined compared to the men.
It's easier. Why?
Because men feel like they have
They're in
nothing
charge.
to lose. One.
They're in charge.
So
Yes,
guess what?
if they're in charge,
Society
they have
has
the
the
rights.
rights. So
Like,
let's
they're
also
rights.
let's also be honest.
set the
Let's-
rules so
let's
they
al-
can
let's
bend the
also be
rules.
honest.
Yeah.
Society frowns less on a man cheating
cheats.
than a woman cheating.
True.
Now, let's use him as an example. He says, "Baby, let's open this marriage." He's exactly like this. Give him a Beyonce. Jay-Z cheats on Beyonce. Now, what are you people talking about?
But if Beyonce wanted to cheat on Jay-Z, how many people would join that queue?
1
All
million.
of us here will be on
One
that
in the
queue.
world.
No.
The
Let me
world,
finish.
actually,
So
fact.
let me finish.
Imagine you two go to the queue.
No, but hold on, you guys.
wife is watching.
No, let me finish. So you want to tell me, we're talking about real life situations here. This guy, Nollywood actor, big shot, buff guy, marries a fine girl and says, okay, let's open this marriage. This guy has DM he has not read.
Yes.
Women where they send nude. The wife at the very best, you get, let's say she gets 2,000 hits. A lot of, like you rightfully said, once men know that you're married, there's this off-limit sign that is on your head. It's invincible. Like, okay, some men do cross that line.
Yes.
Exactly. I
Some
was
men
not
do
going
cross
there.
that line.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
In fact, some
this-
men like
bro,
some men they love women
This
who are
guy
married.
would have conquered an entire nation before she can
Genghis
count 10.
Khan.
Yeah, but see, there's something you need to consider as well. Christian, you have rivals, you have enemies. Do you know how many people want to chop his woman because he's Christian?
God bless you.
Thank you. Then there is that.
If it's a competition,
Then
at the
there
end
is
of
that.
the day,
Actual
this is
Christian
what I
girl.
say a lot of
For
times.
every day she steps
In a
out of
day,
her
let me give you
house,
an
she says,
example.
"Oh, I'm Christian's wife."
I said this
Exactly.
earlier
So
now
earlier
people wants to
on.
hurt
Badge on the
Christian.
chest.
You know,
Yes.
there was something I said earlier on. You're a guy. Can you sleep with 10 girls in one day?
Yes.
You can't. But a girl can sleep with 20 guys. She
Careful,
can double
careful,
your number.
careful.
So
She can double your number in a day.
because we are.
The anatomy is different. One has to be put inside, the other one has to collect.
Listen, about anatomy, let me say something, and I need us to actually note this.
So you can take 20 girls in one day.
Wait, gang, hang on a second.
But you know, men have sex
Femi,
without
listen to
love.
this.
oh.
Get-
Without emotions.
But you
oh.
get to a point that, sorry to say this, your prick won't stand.
Yeah,
It can't-
yes.
You have too
Change-
many.
Yes.
Okay, change the girl.
Yes.
We had this
Even when you change the
Bro,
girl,
we had this experiment when we were in school.
is what happened.
Was it-
Hold on. We're talking about that. The guy
Femi,
said,
please stop.
Hold
Don't
on.
go too
I-
far.
which experiment? Which Mendy experiment?
Hold on.
Wait. Mendy, they hear you. Which experiment did
We're
you
talking
have?
about this, and then one guy was like, no, in they faithful, this is, and they were like, you're going to bring a babe into this room now.
Yes.
The girl goes strip, and your prick goes, they're like, lie, never, blah, blah. Bro,
Yes. That's one.
he's happily married.
Listen.
That's why I don't
But this is what I'm saying, this Femi. I'm not doubting you. It can happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Switch.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Switch the girl. Men are
Yo,
visual.
see,
Men are visual.
As visual as a man
Femi,
can be.
I disagree.
Femi,
Femi, can I say
you
this?
don't
Gang,
have to
hang on a
disagree.
second. Femi, this
Biology
is it, yeah.
will tell you
Femi, let me say
that
this, yeah.
as visual
Gang,
as a
hang on a
man
second.
can be, when your body
Gang.
says, I cannot no longer
Very
respond to
true.
this, you will not get up.
You zone out.
Very true.
You
But
will
can I
not
say
get
this,
up.
gang?
So now
You
Hang
will
on a second,
apply
gang.
everything you want. You will not get up.
I'm struggling.
Beyonce, Shakira, Rihanna,
Rihanna, Kelly Rowland.
Kelly Baba. Bing.
After-
Bing,
See.
bing, bing.
I promise you, after 5,
After
it's not
4,
your
not
fault.
just
though.
5, you
Your
might not get
body
to
will
5.
just not respond.
Okay,
Gang,
calm down, calm
he
down.
might
I
not
was trying
get
to
to
say
5.
something. This is, yeah. Femi, this
He
is
might
the
not
thing.
get to
might not
5.
get to
Hey,
5.
Beyonce's
Now,
enough.
Femi, listen,
Kim
yeah.
Kardashian.
Femi, he's okay.
What are you
Femi,
saying?
Femi, stop.
Hey,
All right,
Jesus.
calm down, guys. Calm down, guys. Pull up your zippers. Pull up your zippers. Thank you.
Jesus.
Femi, focus now. Now, I'm of the submission that women are more capable than men when it comes to interacting physically because they're built that way. And I'm going to, forgive me if I'm wrong, ladies, but I don't think I am. Ovulation is a biological system where you are built to, at that time of month, want to do it.
Yes.
Men simply only do it for the pleasure of it or to boast to their other peers that, don't chop up.
Don't chop on yours.
But women are biologically built so they're more capable than you when you look at it in the
You
long
think
run.
men are not biological? Why
See,
do you,
no,
why do you
we
guys
want to
think, why do you
procreate,
guys
I
think all
agree.
these men have
But if a woman says that she's going to
5
go
wives,
outside,
7 wives?
Femi, if a woman says she's going to go outside, you cannot.
Men that
you
have
cannot match
bro,
her.
men that have 5 wives, they still get side chicks. You think they're any mad?
Listen, there's a reason. What part of the point that Zeno is making here, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's easy for a man to have multiple wives. But women can restrict themselves and not have more than one husband. But what we're saying here is that if women decide to finally let go and say, damn the
better
world,
than.
damn the morals, damn
Exactly.
the names
That's
I'll be
the
called,
social-
let's do
what's it
this thing. Let's do this thing. Let me get wild and get nasty and physical with men. You can't compete.
You know this
Exactly.
because you're a woman.
You can't compete.
You can't.
But I don't know. Like you guys are
Because-
saying this with all certainty. Do you know this because you're a woman, or a woman told you this?
Because we've
No,
And
because
guess
it's
what? The first
happening. It's
rule-
happening.
The
It's
first
happening.
rule, the first rule
It's
of life
happening.
as a man, anything where woman tell you, just
Femi, have you been with people who are like, I want you now?
Let me say this. Let me
No,
chip this in. Over 60% of married men is having an affair.
75.
Over what?
Over 60%. And over 60% of the women, too,
75.
are also doing the same. They're sleeping out.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
75.
Because
no,
they
okay,
get-
so
they
I think
get-
for
they
the
get
men, I
to-
think for the men it should be like 85. For the
I don't
women,
wanna
maybe
go
like
there.
60.
85%
just
of
try
men
to
are
be-
doing what?
Sleeping
85
out of the
So I'm
marriage.
saying four men here,
85%,
three of us are sleeping out. Is what you're saying?
85% of married men have had or are having or would have
I'm coming.
something on the side.
All right,
Exactly.
so let me bring this here to this room. There's 3 married men in this room. Which one of us is sleeping out?
I can speak for
Okay.
myself.
Let me tell you, I don't know.
I'm interested. I'm interested to get the
Which
answer.
one of us is sleeping
I
out?
can speak for myself. I don't know about you, baby.
No, me, I know who's sleeping out.
So, but I put it to you guys, over 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
In 100%, over 80%. Yeah.
Over
let me-
80%.
let me-
Yes.
Let me give you
Of
an
men
example.
or married men.
Of married men here.
So that's 3 of us. in
Mas-
this
No.
Yes, 3 of us. You said the 3 of you now, so over 80%.
So you're saying,
No,
So
no,
you
you're-
just rope us inside
so
one
you're
group.
saying these 2. So you're
You
saying
don't create WhatsApp group, remove yourself.
Let me help you. Let me
well,
help
Femi,
you.
what he's saying is that these 2.
Mazino,
you
let
and
me help
him-
you. First of all, I just got wind in my ear that said, what about like street girls, oloshos, prostitutes that can stand on the street and sleep with as many men as they want
Possible,
to?
yeah.
You have to put
That's
that into
commercial.
consideration.
That's a different. That's a different.
Now, when you're
topic.
talking about the men here, you know, I sleep a lot, and that's all I do. I sleep. So I can tell you for a fact that I'm one of the people that's sleeping. That's all, I'm sleeping. But you people that are staying awake, doing all sorts of rubbish. I can testify to fame, but this Mazino,
I know,
If I'm not walking, I'm walking. Even in my sleep, I'm walking.
Tell you what, yeah. I know that definitely. In fact, no, you know, let's not even do this.
Exactly.
Let's not
See
do
how?
this. Let's take a very quick break because I
see
think that
how?
there's a lot of people who are trying
see
to get
how?
their messages in.
see
And I can tell because the systems are going ping, 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 ping. Let's take a very quick short break. When we get back, it's going to be your show, your messages using the hashtag #TheBlackTable on TVC. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Black Table. I've always maintained that the show behind the scenes is
Can never be
the
tamed.
best
Can never be
show.
tamed. It's very black.
We
Can never be tamed.
we can't reveal it here because it's absolute
Very
chaos.
black. Very, very
It's
black.
darker
Very
than the dark table. But it's all good. We love to see Gang in his elements then. But let's talk about your messages. We got a message here for you. Rich Uncle says, this is from Biantu42, says, Rich Uncle, tell us, can you withstand, are you speaking from experience? Can you take more than just a few women? Two questions. Are you talking from experience, one? Can you take more than just a few women, two?
So that's the problem with women. They always ask too many questions because I'm guessing that's a woman.
I don't know.
That guy could just go straight
Go
to the
straight.
point. So, biologically speaking, as a man, if you have something to do with somebody and you're tired, you're like, okay, I'm done. If another female is introduced into that same scene, bing,
It's a pain for me.
it's bing.
The ringtone
So-
for me.
I think that answers all the questions.
And is this from experience?
Like him, I was of the world. But I found Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
Everything comes back to me.
Oh, Jesus.
I was of the world.
Outlook.com sends a message says, Omo, them do Benjamin strong thing. Oh. The painful part was that he kept saying he was innocent, but the women are always listening. Oh yeah, the women are always listening to the first.
Yes.
We actually said this, and this is actually a fact. Everybody wants to look at the woman first and say, yeah. I mean, what's his name? Pirates, the Pirates guy, Pirates of the Caribbean. What's his name?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
It seemed like the same.
Same-
It wasn't
similar
rape,
issue.
but it was assault.
Yeah,
But
you know,
he lost a lot of endorsements just because of that accusation.
it's sad because, you know, in society, we never see a situation whereby men do not know that they can also be sexually abused or sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
So you rarely see a situation whereby a man is
comes
accusing
out.
a woman.
And it's not just
of
that.
assaulting
It's also
him.
the fact that men don't want to be. They feel less of a man when they're seen as a victim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you
don't
come,
know
you come
exactly.
out,
Yes,
you
they
come
come
out
out
as
as
weak. But in this kind of situation, like I said before, it's sad that this lasted over 2 years. Now that this charge has finally been found as not guilty, let's see how he builds himself from here.
Let's see indeed. At David says, Mazzino, my uncle's story has made me never, ever, ever say, hey, I want to send any girl to school again. The lady showed him Shege Banza Dan Iska. She ran away with another man who was more literate than my uncle. My uncle till today is single at 55. No wife, no children. He hasn't recovered from
But I
that.
still wonder, like
is
Femi
a
said
big
earlier on, I
price to
still
pay.
wonder why people do that thing about sponsoring people to school, people that you feel are potential. Why don't you marry the person and make the person your partner
make
and
them
then do
yours.
all of that?
Yeah.
What are you sponsoring them and hoping that when they make something of their lives, that's when you turn them into
I think
a
it's
partner?
culture.
No,
I think it's
not.
culture
No,
because
you don't make those type of investments in people.
I mean,
You
what kind of
can't.
investment is
Did you
that?
grow up? You grew up with your father, yeah? You grew up with your father, your parents, both parents, and you saw your father provide for his family, his wife.
His family and his wife,
I'm
but not
coming here.
strangers.
But as kids, we are going to emulate whatever we see our fathers do.
True.
To provide, you would think, I have a girlfriend, I can be a man too. Now let me start providing. You will eventually say, okay, you want to go to school? I can do that now. No wahala. I'm a shoe cobbler, but I'm definitely going to put you through school. It makes you feel
for me,
African. It makes you feel like an African
For
man.
me, as a human being, I always ask myself, what is the cost implication of what
that.
We don't think so.
in
Especially
every-
if you've had that experience of a higher institution.
No, so for,
Because we have,
so
we
for me,
have,
it's,
we
it's
have,
always,
we have high chances of losing them.
so for
eventually.
me, it's always like
Losing the
anything
ladies, yeah.
anything you give to a woman is gone. Like it's not yours. So there's no world in which I will sit down and I'll now be sponsoring a girl through school. It's not just possible.
Just a second. Christian, there's a thing we do on the show. We call it just the tip. I know it sounds familiar, but that's not what we're talking about. You give a rounded advice on everything we've talked about today at the end of the show. And we're
Rounded,
getting
not talking about
Okay.
body parts. Oh.
no anatomy. Just the tip, though. But you conclude, and then we'll come to you for just the tip. You were saying real quick.
Like, you have no real business as a man financing, sponsoring the education of a girl that you're not married to. It's too much of an investment, and you would most likely lose. Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's no world in which you win. She's going to university, for Christ's sake. We all know what we did in university. And I always tell people this, that if you go to university as a girl, your future husband, you most probably have left him. If you can't find any man out of that large portion, your chances just keep getting slimmer as you go out in the world.
Femi, we're out of time. I'd like Christian to give us the tip. And then we'll round up the show. So everything we've talked about, mostly about women, quite frankly. What's your advice?
So my advice, I'll start with the Mendy situation. So I would say it's best we try to place a balance in accusation, get our facts checked before we just come out to lay accusations on the men, because sometimes it doesn't really come out nice. And you'll see at the end of the day, when the man is found not guilty, you'll get a pity party. Oh, this is not nice. How is he going to pick up his life from here and all of that? But the damage, the deed has been done. So it's not a nice thing. Then I'll fast forward
Real quick.
to the situation of the open marriage thing in. So I have this problem with that term, open marriage.
You got to pull out.
Yes. So I have to just say, don't hang on the fence. It's either you're here or you're here. Go into marriage, and if you're not interested, you're not ready for it, please do not delve into that. If you want to keep fornicating, stay out of the marriage and do your shit and do it and do
Is
it.
that why you're still
Yes,
married?
so that's what I'm
because
saying.
you're fornicating.
Not my words.
No, I just want, no, just yes or no. Yes or no.
This tip
before
don't
the
get
cut.
shoulder.
Is that why you're not
We'll
married?
talk about that after the show.
No, my
So that means that's why you're not married. It's okay.
Not my words, but they said you almost came there.
Ouch! The people waiting back weekend.
I want to say thank you very much to everybody who's joined us yet again for another Friday edition of the Black Table. Thank you very much. We couldn't take too much of your messages. We apologize. However, we will respond to them on social media if you keep using the hashtag #TheBlackTable on TVC. Thank you for staying with us. Join us again next week Friday at 11 o'clock when we get to do this again. With all of us here, and from all of us here, we're saying thank you, good night, or is it good morning?